Hey guys, today's profile review, we will be looking at a Lilia jungle main who has over a 60% win rate in ranked in preseason, and last season had a 59.4% win rate. So we're going to look at and break down everything they need to do to get out of bronze into silver in their second season of playing League of Legends, and then what they need to go from silver to gold. Guys, before we get into the video, if you enjoy this profile review and you want your profile reviewed, please check out the link in the YouTube description below, as well as if you're interested in the paid coaching service that I talk about towards the end of this video, there's also a link to that in the YouTube description below. Let's get into the video today, and I'm going to show you in less than 10 minutes how you can go from bronze 4 to your gold rank of silver 4, and then what you need to do to get to gold. So the three things we're going to be focusing on for this profile review are 1, your champion pool, 2, your KDA, and 3, your kill participation. Now, these are the three big things most bronze junglers struggle with when looking to climb out of bronze for the first time. So we're going to break that down specifically for your case, and then understanding that in the context of, okay, let's go from bronze 4 to silver 4. How do we do it? How do we get there for you that works for you and your staff? So let's get into it. So currently I can see your bronze 4, 44 LP on the EUS server, and it looks like you played at least 500 games last season. So firstly, you're playing a really good volume of games. But the big issue I'm seeing here is that you have a 51.6% win rate over 508 games, which firstly makes me think that you had a really bad start to the season, and maybe it was your first season playing, because this account only has history for one season of ranked. So firstly, if this was your first season playing, congratulations, getting to bronze 4. I know it doesn't sound like very good, but in all honesty, so many players have been playing this game for years and can't climb out of bronze. So the fact that you got there out of iron, really good. And the fact that you've got a 51% win rate on jungle in your first season is also really good. Now, the problem I see with this is you've got 508 games played, right? 51.6% win rate. And then only 50% of your games have been played on your most successful champion, which is Lilia. Now, it seems obvious, right? That, you should just be playing Lilia, but for some players, particularly when it's your first season, it's hard to actually understand, what champion am I objectively good at? What champion feels good or, feels bad? What champion do I not think I can climb with, but I'm actually climbing with? And that's probably the case with your Lilia here. I can see that, good job for playing at least 50% of your games as jungle on her, but I want to see this up to 80 to 90% because Lilia is going to be your key to climbing out of bronze. And what I would recommend if I was you to climb out of bronze in the fastest way or the quickest amount of time possible as a jungler, I would spam Lilia. Lilia is in such a good spot at the moment, and given that you have a 59.4% win rate on her over 280 games, that's insane. That's incredible. That is all you need to focus on to get out of bronze is focusing on that Lilia. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is your KDA. So I can see that you're averaging about 7.1 deaths a game and 6.3 on Lilia. This is way too high. Generally, junglers want to be averaging about 5 to 5.5 deaths per game. Now, it's not too much of a problem because you are still winning 59% of your games as Lilia, but you do need to be a bit cautious that as you climb higher from bronze 3 into silver, these deaths are going to impact the game more and more, because when you're dead, you cannot influence the outcome of games. And particularly a lot of jungler deaths happen in the mid to late game, where it's basically the most important moments in the game to be alive, to be impacting the game, and to be influencing team fights. So if we're dying 6.3 times a game, we're off the map for an average of 3 to 5 minutes of a game. Given that the average game goes for about 25 minutes, being off the map for 3 to 5 minutes of 28 minutes is a really, really long time, and it adds up, and it basically limits your influence over the game. So once you've decided, okay, I need to one-trick Lilia from bronze to silver, the next thing you got to look at is focusing on your deaths. The easiest way to do this is either with a coach or getting into your game replays and just looking at the 30 seconds before you die every single time in a game. It'll take you literally less than 5 minutes, and just figure out and see if you can identify patterns in your deaths. I almost guarantee you, particularly on your Lilia jungle, you're going to start identifying patterns where you're always dying. Maybe it's trying to solo dragon without having priority of your mid or bot lane. Maybe it's ganking top when your top laner can't actually help you and you actually get into a 1v1 and then the enemy jungler comes and ganks you and all of a sudden there's a 2v1 and your jungler can't help you. Maybe it's for another reason. Maybe you just don't understand your champion's strength and weaknesses, so you take bad fights. There's going to be a variety of reasons that could potentially be leading or causing this high death rate for you, Jeremiah. But until you get into your games and review it, either with a coach, with yourself, or with a friend who is a higher rank than you, you won't really be able to fix that problem, and it's going to be a big problem, particularly as you climb higher. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is kill participation. So, generally, a jungler wants to average about a 50 to 60% kill participation on average. And I can see in your last 40 games, which are the majority in jungle, you're only averaging 38% kill participation, which makes me think you're not getting in enough team fights, you're not grouping enough, and you're not impacting the map in fights, which is really important. As a jungler, it's one of your key roles and primary objectives as a jungler is to get in as many fights as possible with your team. Not just get in as many fights as possible full stop, but if your team is fighting, particularly as a Lilia, she is a team fight god. You want to be in as many of those fights as possible. Now, wrapping this up, Jeremiah, those are the three big things that you need to fix in order to go from bronze to silver as a jungler in your second season of playing League of Legends. If you're interested in going the next step and actually accelerating this learning, so rather than doing this on your own, you're a little bit worried or unsure you can do it and you need some more advice, please, once you've watched this, reach out to me because I have a special ranked monthly climbing action plan, which basically, think of it like a personal trainer for the gym, where I'll take you from point A, bronze 4, to point B, silver 4, and then wherever we want to go to next. So once you get silver, we'll be aiming for gold, then for platinum, and then eventually building you into a diamond player through monthly coaching, monthly goal setting, and monthly statistical tracking. So if that sounds like something you're interested in learning more about, once you've watched this, reach out to me. I'll give you a link to book a time in my calendar for an absolutely free call, no strings attached, for you to understand a little bit more about that program, what it would involve, and how it could work for someone like you in your particular situation. Overall, Jeremiah, keep playing that Lilia, and once you've watched this, I hope to speak to you. Cheers, good luck on the Rift, and I'll talk to you once you've watched this, mate.